Hey everyone, it's time for the afternoon drive home. Hopefully your Friday is either starting or finishing great. I mean, it's been an interesting day for me to say the least, but my day's over, so I'm looking forward to the weekend. And I appreciate you for joining me for the ride home. Unfortunately, I can't actually chat with you, but at least I'll kind of talk out loud and get the stream going. And if you get a chance, tune in tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll see you online. And for the live stream then at 7. But this afternoon was pretty cool. I actually, I went to Golden Corral. Is a restaurant that they have here in Panama. They probably got a lot of different places. But Panama City has a Golden Corral, which is a buffet. And for lunch, since I can't really eat a lot of carbs, I got to try and eat more meat, more protein. So I ended up saying, I'm going to go ahead and grab lunch at Golden Corral. So I go there, and I'm standing in line, and there's a guy staring at me, and he's just staring at me, and he's tilting his head. And finally, I get my plate, and I actually get my food, and I sit down at my table, and I'm eating, and he walks over to me, and he just points at me, he goes, "You do a live stream, don't you?" And I go, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "I've watched you." He goes, "I've watched you a couple times." And I knew that was you. The first time, I have never, literally never, ever has anyone come up to me and said, "Hey, do I know you?" I'm not that guy, But, yeah, he recognized me, so I told him, I said, "Well, hey," I says, "you want to sit down?" And we sat down, we had lunch, and he was telling me, he was so fascinated about life. Now, he's an older guy. He's, I would say, late 50s, maybe early 60s. Not that old, but, and he was so interested in the streaming, he thought it was the coolest thing. And anyway, we had a great conversation. It was a great lunch, and it was my first official, encounter with a fan or somebody who'd actually seen it. Like I said, I always take for granted that, maybe I'll be seen by one or two people, and I forget that not only am I seen in, like, Australia, Netherlands, all over the place, even locally, I guess people pick it up here too. So I was that was kind of the highlight of my day. But then if you actually tuned in on my morning drive, oh guys, I'll tell you, I was so devastated today. Coming in the morning, I'm sitting here, we're talking about making a difference, doing something positive, kind of like a random act of kindness, And I said, today's payday, and I'm telling everybody else, payday Friday, and it's not payday Friday. I don't know where the hell I got that from. It's a Friday, but it's not my payday, and it's probably not your payday, I don't know, but I felt so bad. I was going, oh, wow. But I went through the first part of my day thinking today was payday, and I had all these plans. I was already planning to spend money, and I had all these plans about going out and doing something, but then even after I thought about it, I was like, it doesn't have to be payday to go do it. So I'll take some of my money that I have, and I'm going to go do it. Remember we were talking, if you were joining me this morning, if you were on the morning drive with me, we were talking about doing something, and I challenged you to just do something that you normally wouldn't do or haven't done that would make a difference in someone's life. And I gave you this scenario with me. It was with somebody that was standing on the corner holding up one of those signs, and I always used to think it was a scam and they were just trying to get money and it wasn't legitimate until I actually made a conscious effort to find out the guy's story. And now, and here's the way I look at it, even if I ever do that and there's somebody there that is a con man that's trying to just get my money, I look at it and I think, he must need it more than I do, because he's out there doing something that it takes a tremendous amount of courage to do that, to actually stand out there, swallow your pride, put your ego aside, humble yourself, and admit, I am so bad off, I need help. If you can do that, and if you think that that's going to, and you're going to try and pull on my heartstrings, even though you might be trying to con me, I still feel for you. Because if things are that bad in your life where you've got to lower yourself down to that level, then you know what? If that's what you are and who you are, that's fine. But I'm here to tell you more people that are out there are actually out there not because they want to be, but because they have no other choice. So my challenge to you was, next time you see somebody that needs, will work for food, buy them some food, give them a $10 bill, and give them some words of encouragement. Give them a little inspiration, a little motivation to help them get through. That, number one, it'll do wonders for you because you'll feel you just feel so much inside that it's indescribable how great it makes you feel. But also it could mean the world to somebody who normally wouldn't have that kind of interaction with people. So, and I was saying that, today being Payday Friday, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and do something, and then I'll play it back, on the stream, and I'm going, that after, I was at work and I realized it's not Payday Friday, I kind of went, oh, well, I'm not going to let that spoil it. I'm still going to go ahead and try and do some things, and then I started thinking all this time, I started the stream in January 1st. Right? And I was like, yeah, I'm a new streamer, and I'm going to try and figure out what my channel's about. POV America is kind of like point of view America on whatever. Everybody's got a point of view on something. And I was kind of just throwing it out there, and I didn't have any game plan, didn't know what the channel was going to be about. I just wanted a channel where friends and, new friends and old friends could kind of get together and really just talk about whatever. We could talk about, think about it, we've talked about motorcycles, we've talked about cars, we've talked about pizza, we've talked about religion. That's the kind of channel I wanted. Hey, did you see that, the guy that caught a picture of the UFO? And hey, let's talk about UFOs. Let's talk about conspiracy theories. I don't care. I just want fun, interesting conversation about anything. I love that. But I've been trying to find what could my channel be. I just wanted to find a little niche of something that I could do that I would enjoy. And then today it kind of hit me. I was like, I look at these channels and I see all these people like the Ninja that's making like $500,000 a month from sponsors and all these endorsements and stuff, subscribers. And I started thinking to myself, well, you know what? I am so blessed in my life. I don't have millions of dollars. I'm not making tons of money, but I have a job. So that's a blessing in itself. I have a job. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy monetarily, but I'm wealthy in so many other ways. I'm in fairly good health. My family is strong. I have so many other blessings. Yes, I don't own my own house. My wife keeps, she's 12 years older. She's retired. She wants her own house to hang a picture on the wall and make it her house. And we've been renting now for the last 5 years, 10 years. One time we had a house before the whole housing market went down, but that's another story in itself. But, I don't have a lot of things that a lot of people have. But as I said, I have a job. I do have money coming in, and I'm a lot better off than a lot of people. So I started thinking about it. Well, I'm not looking to do the live stream, as a career. I'm not looking at it just to make a bunch of money. But I decided, I was like, you know what I am going to do, though? Eventually, people that are watching my channel, one day soon, I don't know when, it might be today, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be next year, but somewhere down the line, people are going to start, they're going to collect those bits, like I'm on Twitch. They're going to collect the bits that they get from watching commercials, and they're going to donate some bits to they're going to go ahead and give me some bits when I'm on streaming. And then they're going to give me a tip, $1 or $2, and maybe on Mixer, maybe they give some embers. I think they have Mixer that has embers. But I'm eventually going to start having supporters, people that want to subscribe to my channel. Now, where I could take that money and, wow, I could pay my bills, I'm like, you know what? I don't need that money to pay my bills. I can pay my bills, but I'm going to take that money. And I was like, what better way to build a channel, and to actually, a channel that people want to see, where you can take the good stuff. It's a blessing. Every time somebody gives you bits, every time somebody gives you a tip, every time somebody puts $2 or $3 or whatever, it's a blessing to you. So why not take that and move it forward and give it to somebody through a random act of kindness? Do something cool. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do with my channel, I think. It'll be all about, I'll take it. It's going to take a while. I know it's going to take a while to build of followers that actually will use their bits on my channel or tip. But the thing is, it will happen eventually. Then they'll subscribe to my channel, and I think if for no other reason, I want to do, and I love my channel to make people feel good when they watch it. To actually have a channel, I don't play the guitar, I don't sing, I don't have any real talent to talk of. I mean, maybe I can do a magic trick every now and then, but that's about it. I don't have any kind of skills that I would think I could use to make a channel successful. But what I do have the ability and the means to be able to make a difference, even if it's just for an hour in someone's life by doing something, whether it's paying for their coffee at Starbucks or paying for their breakfast for them and their kids at McDonald's, or maybe paying for their gasoline, paying for a semester of school, whatever, the blessing that I get. And that's kind of what I was like, you know what, today was a really good day for me, because it made me realize the whole time I've been trying to think, what can I do to make the channel that I'm working on building, like I said, January 1st I started, and I've been wanting to make a channel that, and I just didn't know. I've watched so many channels, so many gamers, so many people doing like kind of talk show type things, and there was nothing there that really fit me. There probably is somebody doing what I'm doing. Maybe there is other channels, and maybe I can work with them and we can pull our resources. I don't know. But the thing is, I really truly started thinking about it today, going, you know what? There's people out there that watch my channel along with a bunch of other ones, and they get stuck watching the same commercials I do, but they'll get the bits for watching it. And those bits and this is, I could be wrong, please correct me if I am, but somebody said that 1 bit is the equivalent of 1 penny. So if somebody donates you 100 bits, that's like donating $1 to your stream. And that's, to me, that $1 is a cup of coffee for somebody that needs a cup of coffee. So I was like, that's what I'll do. I'll start doing what everyone else is doing, and I'll start taking those funds, but instead of paying my car payment and house payment or whatever, because I have that covered, I'll be able to take that and show everybody, hey, look, guys, let's make a difference. Let's just do little acts of kindness and see and share that reaction with each other. Share how much of a difference it makes. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes, just buying breakfast for somebody can change their entire day. Sometimes it's, if you walk into the electric company and you pay somebody's electric bill, you find somebody that's standing there that maybe they're having a hard time making ends meet. And you just simply are able to walk in and say, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pay that for you, and pay their electric bill. You don't know what a blessing that is. I mean, I've been there where I didn't know how I was going to pay certain bills. I didn't know how things were how I was going to make it, month to month. Matter of fact, very few people in this world that are living out there now watching this, very few know what it's like to be truly homeless. And when I say homeless, I don't mean having a relative you can go to crash in their bedroom or on their couch, or having a friend. I mean homeless, not having anybody that you can go to stay with, being so far away from anybody that you really know, you're stuck where you are, and there's nobody there to know. Very few people know that. And I'm here to tell you, I know that. I know exactly how that feels. I've been there. The old saying, been there, done that? And I'm going to tell you, if you get caught in that rut, sometimes getting out of it is just, you can really start to sink into a depression. And sometimes the kindest gesture, just the smallest thing, can be just enough of a spark to reignite that flame in you to say, you know what, I'm destined for better things. And it can be the catalyst to take you to places that you never thought you could go. And it could be something as simple as a breakfast sandwich. I mean, you never know. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to go ahead and take my channel, and eventually somebody will de-virginize me, and I'll get my first tip or my first donation to the channel. I'll get my first bits to the channel. I've already got, the other day, I had like 4 or 5 subscribers, scared the living daylights out of me, because I've got the this Stream Elements that I set up it has these follower alerts and all these things. So I've set up all these alerts, but they only go off if you're on Twitch and you make, like, if you make donations using the Stream Elements thing, or if you're on Twitch and you follow on Twitch, these alerts go off. But when I had a lot of guys that are on Mixer, or a lot of folks that are on Periscope, or what's the other one, Stream Me, or these other platforms, that when they follow, or I don't get any alerts. So I don't really know on the channel. Otherwise, I'll see it. Sometimes I'll see it when it populates, one way or another. Either on my chat log it'll populate, so I'll know. But you don't hear the alerts go off. But man, I'm gonna tell you, I had a couple of you guys that followed me yesterday, and my volume was up, and I mean, I just like jumped out of my socks, like, what the heck was that, And but it was a following alert that you had followed me, and I appreciate it. Matter of fact, I'm going to give my shameless promotion right now. If you're watching, if you happen to be watching my afternoon drive home, do me a favor, go over to Twitch and follow. Just follow me. Twitch is kind of funny. They're like YouTube and probably all the other streams. They want you to have a following of so many people before they kind of unlock little things that you can do and little perks, and so every follower is a blessing to me. So, I mean, honestly, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You sit here and you watch me do my morning drive, doing the 9 to 5 grind. You watch me do the afternoon show, going home, and then I'm blessed if you come in and you kind of share some time with me in the evening and we get some chats going. But I finally, it just took, since January 1st till today, it took so long to finally figure out what I want to do, what type of a channel I want to have. And that's, now I kind of understand it. I want a channel where I can take, instead of, don't get me wrong, I'd love to make $500,000 a month. I mean, I can't even imagine the stuff I could do with that. I mean, I could be paying for tuitions, and I mean, I could make a heck of a difference with that kind, but I'm a realist. I mean, I'll be lucky if my goal was, when I started this, I've actually tell people, feel free to share it on Facebook or whatever, but my goal was, I was really going to be lucky if I got one follower for every day I stream. That was my goal. Every day I stream, get one follower, and maybe by January 1st next year, maybe I could have 300, maybe 350 followers. That was kind of what I'm hoping. And then if I can get some subscribers that'll subscribe to the channel, all that'll kind of build itself up, and that's what I want. But I think what I'll do today, it's not Payday Friday. I'm sorry if I got you all excited. And this morning I can't tell you how excited I was thinking it was payday. Hey, it's Friday, Payday Friday. And then I get to work and I'm just going through my day excited that I'm going to go and be able to do something. And then I kind of, one of the people I work with burst my bubble, and they were like, it's not Payday Friday, it's just Friday. And then I realized it and I went, oh man, but that's not going to stop me. Then I started saying, you know what? I'm not going to let that steal my joy. I'm going to go ahead and dip into my little kitty that I have. Usually I use it for the poker tournaments, but you know what? That's just a hobby of mine, something I enjoy from time to time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use those funds, and I'm going to do something, just do some things this weekend that maybe I'll be able to film them and kind of share them with you guys during the stream, maybe on Monday, or if I decide to stream on Saturday. I would really like to do that, but that's kind of what I'm going to do. I was really kind of excited all day when I finally realized, you know what? There's so many folks, and I watch your channels, and they're making. I've seen people, and I'm not making this so well. You'll know because I've seen people making $500, $800, $1,000 a day during one stream. They make like $800 or $1,000. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh. I mean, think about having $1,000 that you can actually go out and do things with, to just people that are so unsuspecting, that aren't even looking for anything. They're not expecting anything. Imagine going into Walmart, right? Then just walking up to like the self-pay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get my actually today, I should have a PayPal card. I ordered PayPal sent me an email, almost a week ago about getting their PayPal card. Because that's how I got it all set up. So like donations and all that, they go into PayPal for POV America. And they sent me a thing saying I could get a PayPal card. And I should have had it. I'm thinking maybe today. It's Friday. So, but that would be like just imagine going into Walmart, taking that PayPal card and going over there and just swiping it through, paying for groceries for somebody, and just watching their face when you see that mother and she's got all her kids and she's trying to keep it all together, and you go over there and just give her just a random act of kindness and buy your groceries. I mean, if you're making $1,000 a day, $800 a day, imagine what you could do. You go pull into a gas station and just say, hey, walk around and pay at the pump for everybody that's there. Just something that is, and then just have them pay and tell them, hey, look, whatever you were going to spend today on gas, just pay it forward. Help somebody else, do something nice for someone else today, and just see how that would reverberate. I mean, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. As a matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'm going to have cards. I'm going to actually make up some cards, and I'm going to say, and I'm going to have it to where every time we do something nice, we'll give them the card and tell them to do something nice for someone else, and then we'll give them the channel and let them come and see, and maybe they can share with us what they did, how we impacted them, and then how they in turn impacted someone else. I mean, so I was actually excited. Today was a good day for me. I was like, didn't know what I was still struggling with this channel, still trying to figure out what I wanted to do, how I was going to do it, and but now it kind of all came together this morning. That's part of that thinking out loud that I do when I drive. Sometimes you're throwing things out there, and it's a lot of what you put out there. It's just you. It's just and that's the one thing I love about streaming is it's the only time normally during the day that I can be me. When I'm streaming, what you see is what you get. I don't have to lie. I don't have to be false. I don't have to pretend that I'm, like at work. At work, I can never be myself because I'm around inmates, and a lot of the inmates are very manipulative. They try to manipulate you. They try, so I can be as true as I can to being me. But there's always part of me, that I don't reveal to them because you don't want to feel that they have some kind of ammunition to manipulate you and take advantage of you. So, and even with my coworkers, they're a lot of them are very they don't have a career, they have a job, and they kind of treat it that way. They're miserable. They're very unhappy with the job that they do, and a lot of them, matter of fact, maybe that's an unfair way to say it. Maybe they like the job, but there's aspects of the job that they don't like. But they're not in great moods all the time, and rightfully so. They deal with, murderers and, some of the hardest of the hard criminals, and I can understand where that would impact you negatively. So, as I said, it's nice because when you do a stream, kind of what you see is what you get. This is how I am. This is how I love being. And when I get out of work, and now if I'm with employees and coworkers outside of work, which occasionally we go out for lunch or whatever, that's great because then you get to kind of let your guard down and you are who you are. But it's really nice because the stream kind of gives me a chance to think things through and try and solve some of the problems which are really not problems, but they're just like what to do with the channel. I want to do a live stream channel, but I want to have fun. I want it to be meaningful. I want to do something. I want to help people and have good times and great friends that join the channel. And how to do that. And then today, after just this morning's drive, I kind of thought about it more at work, going, wow, there's the answer. The answer was always there. It was just be true to who I am. What do you want to do? You can't tell me that when you read, I mean, how many times on the internet, let's be honest, how many times on the internet have you read a story or seen a story about a waitress that got a $1,000 tip, or somebody, you read these stories and you think, wow, I mean, there's some people that go, wow, how insane was that person to leave a $1,000 tip? But then there was other people that said, wow, $1,000 paid for that waitress's tuition in school, and she could put that money back towards the kids' school clothes and the other obligations. So there's so many different things that you can do. And I look at that and I think, if I have a channel that's making $800, $1,000 a day, I don't even know. I would start taking suggestions. I'd have to take suggestions. How can we do great things with this? What differences can we make? You know, you always have the people that'll say, well, go to homeless shelters, do that. And yeah, we'd do all that, but we would actually be able to make such a difference. It's less fun. That's kind of what I'm at. I'm like, you know what? Over time, if I can grow the channel to a few hundred people over the course of a year, and even if you think about it, if you get up to a couple hundred people and each person gives you just $1 of the bits that they get from Twitch, or some embers that they get from you know, Mixer, you think about that, that's $200. You know, $200 might not seem like a lot to some people, but I'm here to tell you that's a lot. When you do, if you just took $10, you know, and just went and made, like I said, bought people breakfast or something like that, look how many people you can touch with that, just with $200. So I'm actually, you know, I'm finally, I kind of get a good, clear picture of where I want to go with my stream, and I'll be the first one to kick it off. I'm going to go ahead and donate some money, and I'm going to go ahead and do the things that I love to do. I'm going to go ahead and make that difference, and I might even go around. You know, there's a side of me too that says, with all that's happening, you know, there's so many businesses and so many things in this area that are hurting. It's going to be very easy to find people that are really appreciative of a little something simple. Just like you said, it doesn't have to be big. That's a cool thing about it. It doesn't have to be big. It can be just a small little act that they don't expect, and just a good word, a little motivation, little inspiration, or, you know, and if you can't do that, just a smile and just, you know, have a great day. I mean, you know, I always joke, I tell people, I said, you know, here's the deal. Well, when I first got here, I was, how can I say it? You know, I first got to Florida, and I moved down the water, and the first thing I wanted to do, I love jet skis, right? I said, oh, I want to do this jet ski, and I'm going to have so much fun. And there was another guy who got a jet ski, and we were out horsing around, and I ended up taking this. I took the butt end of this jet ski to the face. Yeah, matter of fact, and now I have 2 teeth. It knocked out 2 teeth, and I have to get implants. They did like a bone graft, and I have to get these implants. And but I found out they're like thousands of dollars for these implants, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait on those. You know, I'll kind of wait and see what happens. But I mean, it's been now 2-3 years. I don't even care about it. It's one of those things that, you know, when things happen to you, you kind of put that money where it needs to go. And at the time, you know, my son needed money for things, and so you kind of, sometimes we put ourselves last, and it's not going to kill you it's not going to kill me to not smile as much as I normally would, but at least, you know, I was able to help some of my family at that time. But I just kind of smile, because we do crazy things, and sometimes if you can't give them, like I won't smile as much as I normally would if I had my 2 teeth back. But the point being, if you can give a nice smile, if you can't think of anything to say, or if you're embarrassed, or you're just choked up even, give a smile. Sometimes that's all it takes, you know. But yeah, it'll be fun this weekend. I'll have a little time to get out to town, and yeah, I'll donate to the cause. That's what I'll do. But guys, I appreciate you. Anyway, if you followed me through this incoherent speech all the way, as you can see by the water and I'm almost home. For those of you who know, I live out in Panama City Beach. we rent there, so don't think I'm rich, don't think I'm wealthy. Just think I'm lucky I got a cheap rental on the beach. So, and I won't even say cheap, but it's, you know, palatable. But anyway, so that's once again another blessing. I got to be at a nice place where I can actually see the water each morning. But for those of you that have hung with me this far, thank you much. Please do me a favor, follow if you can, subscribe, and catch me tonight at 7 o'clock. I'll be on again. We'll do another stream and have some fun there. I'm not sure if I've mentioned, I set up a Patreon account. I had one of you guys suggested doing the Patreon, so I did set that up. I don't mention it that much because I'm not sure exactly, you know, it's like, I guess you pay to be patrons. It's kind of like subscribing to the channel. If you get, like Twitch, once you get enough followers, Twitch will let your members use their Amazon Prime to subscribe to your channel. So like if you're Amazon Prime, you get a free subscribe to anybody on Twitch. Jeff Bezos gives that Twitch streamer $5 for your subscription if you're an Amazon Prime user. So that's kind of what I thought, you know, Patreon was. I think it's kind of like a subscription thing. So I configured it and set it up. Maybe one day I'll start to grow that. I'll put that out there more. But more or less, I'm more interested in growing the channel and, you know, looking for the bits and the tips and that, and trying to do something good with those. And that'll be the true test of whether I can really find a channel that people enjoy. And I'm sure hoping they'll enjoy it, you know, because you guys are the ones I take the feedback from. Matter of fact, my email, just so you know, always open. I read your emails and I'll respond back to you via email or sometimes over the streams. I take your suggestions really serious because I do want to be a good streamer. I do want to put something together that's fun and entertaining for everybody. I've tried, you know, like little comments, just little things sometimes, hints about, hey, you know, be careful of your language. You don't want to drop too many of these bad words because Twitch or Mixer will, you know, punish you, or YouTube will make you put the 18 or older thing. And those are the tips that I really appreciate, because even though I don't like to use, you know, language like that, every now and then, especially when I was around politics, it would slip out. When I was talking about politics, it would, boop, there it goes. And I try not to, but, you know, just so little tips like that really help. And I do respond back to you via stream if you don't mind. I know a lot of you, because I've actually got a lot of you folks. Well, I won't say a lot. I've had 5 or 6, so it's not like a lot. But I'm saying I've had 5 or 6 people ask me very serious, very personal questions, and you've asked not to address you, you know, not to really use your username over the stream. So I haven't. I've always respected that, and I always will. I mean, because I know sometimes you just don't, that the whole attraction of the internet sometimes is the anonymity that we share. You know, the nice part is you might be in Australia, you might be in the Netherlands, you might be in Germany, you might be in Alaska, you might be anywhere, and you see the stream. The nice part about it is you're truly anonymous. You're nothing more than a handle when you come across. So sometimes that actually gives people a comfort level, and they're not afraid to say things that they would normally not say to family or friends. And when that happens, and you can actually give somebody some encouragement or offer them, you know, a different perspective, sometimes that can be really, that can be really a helpful thing. Go ahead, I'm going to let you in. Just take your time. There you go. I had a lady where I'm stuck in traffic here, and she was trying to get over, so we're going to go ahead and be nice. So that'll be something to look forward to, and hopefully you guys will join me tonight around 7 o'clock. It's Friday. I'll go as long as we got people in there chatting. We'll go ahead and talk all night if we want. I'm not worried about getting up for work tomorrow, and I don't have. If I do decide to get up and early, it's going to be for what we were talking about earlier. I'm thinking about going ahead and doing something that's going to be going to make me feel good. I just have to be creative and think, what do I want to do? There's so many different possibilities, but we'll definitely think of something. So, let me see. What was I going to say? I had something else too that. I did get an email this morning. I think I told you guys about it. Maybe I did. No, actually, I don't think I did because I was told not to. So never mind. Disregard what I was going to say because I don't want to talk about it. But it was just a suggestion that was made for me to enhance the show, and but I don't really think it's something I'm going to be into. I'm not. I'm not in, the whole shock jock thing. I'm not into that. That's not something that I don't want to follow in anybody's footsteps that has painted that. So while the suggestion was interesting, and I'm not saying it was a bad suggestion, it's just not me. It's not who I am. And this is what I was explaining to you. This is where I love it because I can be who I am. And I think the suggestion that was made would lead me down a darker path that's just not something. It was funny, it was humorous, and I can see the allure, I can see the attraction of it, but not for me. I am who I am, and this is kind of what I enjoy. I like to be it's a very difficult thing for me to be pessimistic about anything. No matter how bad things are, I've always been an optimist. I've always been a positive person. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have pity parties every now and then, but I usually quickly snap myself out of it. So I try to just see, even in the worst of situations, I try to see some light at the end of the tunnel, some positive something. And it's hard. Sometimes there's things that happen in your life where there's no rhyme, no reason, there's nothing good about it. But you've got to look past it. You've got to try and find the goodness in your life that actually makes it easier to get by and get over. So, there's just some things I'm not into, and that's the suggestion that was made was appreciated, but I decided earlier I wasn't going to say anything about it. Wasn't going to let anybody convince me otherwise. So, what else? So this weekend, Saturday, guys. As I said, I'll try to do some streaming maybe. I'm going to go ahead and keep working on the graphics and the overlays. I had a few of you, two people said the graphics look fine. They said that I didn't have to change it, that it was easy to read, it was easy. So maybe I will leave it. I just was under the impression that it needed to be changed a little bit or made better because that was just my first... That was the first overlay I kind of did just to, I played with all kinds of different overlays, and that was one that, I didn't think it was that great, or it's nothing fancy, it's nothing special. Matter of fact, I actually went into Microsoft Publisher, and I just created, I put a background picture, and I created my own little frames over the back, and I saved it as an image, and so the image, basically, my whole overlay is just an image that I created. If it works, it works. I don't have to change it. One less thing I got to worry about. But I definitely appreciate the fact that you guys think it's okay, because that that saves me from worrying about one more thing. But I would like my chroma key, the background that I have. I would like the ability to change my backgrounds in that. And, I do have the chroma key, but I'll tell you what I realized. With the chroma key, you've got a big, you either paint a wall green, or you have a big green curtain. You got to put the curtain out there. You've got to light the curtain in such a way. And there's actually software you can buy. There's software that'll give you a virtual green screen, and that'll work with OBS and that. And I think it's like $20. So that's going to be when I actually get home today. I'm going to get my Mountain Dew. I'm going to sit down. My first purchase I do, the first thing I do, I'm going to go ahead and buy the software, $20, and I'm going to try and use that as my background for my green screen and see if it works. If it works better, then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to fold up the green screen. I'll wash it, fold it up, break down my rack, my tripods, put them in the bags, and I'll use that if I go travel somewhere. But I shouldn't even need that if I travel, because the software should be able to take place of my green screen. So I'll see how it goes. We'll see what actually works. I'm trying to streamline the operation to make it, because every day I get home and I have to redo everything, because if the lighting changes, if the sun is higher or lower, and it's just, I spend 20 minutes getting everything the way I want, when really if it's set up right the first time, you should just be able to go in there, turn it on, and be ready to go. So hopefully I don't look too bad when I'm out there trying to put everything together. But it is what it is. I'm learning more and more about the streaming, and now it's easier for me too. Now I find, like the guy I spoke with today, the one who was watching my stream, who was asking me, he's like, so if I wanted to do that, what would I need to do? So he was asking. Now here's a guy that's asking me what he needs to do to stream, when I'm a technology guy. But I was not into the streaming scene until my brother kind of guided me. But he guided me with overkill to the nth degree. Cost me a couple $1,000s to get everything set up, because he said you want to look good and this and that. But I realized you can do all of that. You can look good and still have a great stream without spending a ton of money. So when I was talking to this guy today, he was telling me what he had, what kind of computer he had and everything, and I was telling him what he needs, way less than what he's like, well, should I do this? And I said, look, here's what you need. You need a Logitech, webcam, model 922. And I basically kind of told him very bare minimum stuff he needed, that he could be in and doing it for just a few $100s. And I says, and if you don't want to go that way, you can do a live stream on your phone, and then get started doing that. It doesn't cost you anything but your data and everything. So, we had a great talk. But I told you that was the first time I've ever had, and it was very weird, because when I'm standing in line, to get my lunch, to have somebody just sitting there, and I mean, he was very, out of the corner of my eye, he was, he was studying me, and I was kind of like, okay, this is really weird. I could see it, I could feel it. And then when he finally came over, and he says, you do a stream, right? A live stream? And I was like, yes, I do. He goes, yeah, I watch a lot of them. I knew I watched you before. And he was, he was the first person that ever, nobody's ever picked me out in a crowd and said, hey, I know you. This just doesn't happen. I have a very forgetful face, So the name, people remember my name more than my face. Because when they say, what should I say? Oh, Brian Johnson. Depending when they were born or what music they listened to, they go, oh, Brian Johnson. Like the lead singer of AC/DC, right? And I was like, yeah, just none of the money, and none of the talent, and, none of the cars or anything else. But the name, I could afford the name. My parents got me a name, I don't have a middle name. I came from a poor family. We couldn't afford a middle name, but yeah, they'll remember Brian Johnson. They won't remember the face, but they'll remember the name, So I just kind of get a chuckle out of that. Anyway, guys, I'm getting close to home, so I'll be cutting off here in a second. I want to say thanks for sticking with me for my stream. If you stayed with me on the drive home, I appreciate you. Follow me if you can, subscribe, and try and join me tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm trying to keep that schedule as true to what's out there. I know I took your emails. I took everything into consideration. You said come up with a schedule, a time, and stick with it. And I've been trying to do that for you. And I appreciate everything you guys do for me. And tonight, if I can get a couple more followers, and maybe you guys can de-virginize me with the bits and all that neat stuff, and we'll have a fun stream going. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tonight. Have a great one, man. We'll talk to you soon.